In the evening, the giant Cyclops returned to the cave, this time driving all of his goats and woolly sheep into the interior, the rams as well as the ewes. As usual, he effortlessly raised the huge boulder, set it in place, and then went about performing his customary evening tasks. However, when he grabbed two more of my men in preparation for his evening meal, I was prepared. Offering him a bowl filled with my sweet red wine, I addressed the monstrous shepherd. "Cyclops," I said, "wash down your meal of human flesh with this tasty red wine. I brought it with me from the ship in the hope that you would accept it as a gift and help us get home." The Cyclops listened to my words, took the bowl from my hands, and drank the container dry. He was so pleased with the taste that he asked for more. "Give me more with a great heart, and tell me your name. Then I will give you a gift in return. We Cyclopses have rich wine-giving plants, but your wine must be the ambrosia and nectar of the gods." So the monstrous shepherd spoke and drained the second bowl full of wine as he had drained the first. 3 times I brought him wine, and 3 times he foolishly drank the bowl dry. By this time the wine had muddled his mind, so I craftily said to him, "Cyclops, I shall tell you my name as you have asked, but in return, I want the stranger's gift that you promised me. No man is the name by which my mother and father and all of my companions address me." "Then, no man," replied the Cyclops, "I shall tell you what my gift to you will be. I shall choose to eat you last of all." With these words, he collapsed upon the floor of his cave and lay there in a drunken stupor, while wine trickled from his gaping mouth. I immediately withdrew the poker from its hiding place beneath the dung, and pushed it deep under the hot coals of the fire until it was white hot. Meanwhile, I tried to strengthen the hearts of my companions with words of encouragement. When the pointed tip of the olive wood poker glowed with heat, I withdrew it from the fire. With stout hearts, my companions plunged the point of the poker into the giant Cyclops's solitary eye, while I twisted the pole round and round as a man drills a hole in the timber of a ship. Blood poured out from around the poker, and as the eyeball burned, its roots crackled as a white-hot axe hisses when a smith submerges it in cold water. The Cyclops screamed in agony, causing the walls of the cave to echo with his cries. We ran from him in terror as he wrenched the bloody poker from his eye and threw it to the floor. We hoped he would not find us as we huddled against the rear of the cave, for he was jumping wildly about, swinging his arms in fury. The monstrous shepherd called upon the neighboring Cyclopses for help, and they were quick to come to his aid. As they stood at the blocked entrance to the cave, they asked, "What terrible thing has happened to you, Polyphemus, that you have awakened us in the middle of the night with your screams? Is some man stealing your flocks? Or is someone using trickery or force to kill you?" In his anguish, from inside his cave, the giant Polyphemus cried, "No man is killing me, but with cunning and not with strength." His friends replied, "Well then, if no man is hurting you, you're alone. You must be ill. All you can do is pray for your father, Poseidon." With this advice, they left, for they saw nothing else they could do to help. My heart filled with laughter at the success of my devious name. Then Polyphemus blindly felt his way to the entrance of his cave, removed the huge stones that blocked the doorway, and sat there with outstretched arms, expecting that he would touch me if I attempted to leave with his sheep. I thoughtfully considered how, In fact, my companions and I were going to escape almost certain death. As I gazed upon the Cyclops' well-fed rams, each wearing a coat of thick fleece, I devised a scheme that I thought would be successful. Quietly, I collected the braided willow twigs Polyphemus slept upon and tied the rams together in groups of 3 across. I tied one of my companions beneath the body of each middle ram. The other 2 rams protected him from the monstrous shepherd's blind touch. I myself chose the best ram of all, clutching his back. I stretched myself beneath his body, burying my fingers in his thick fleece. In this way we waited the rest of the night. When dawn next brought forth light, Polyphemus sent the males in his flocks out to pasture. As the sheep passed him, he slowly ran his fingers across the fleece on their woolly backs. But he failed to discover my companions. The rams carried them forth to safety. Finally, the ram I had chosen passed beneath the giant's touch. "Why are you last, good ram?" Polyphemus asked. "Each day you are the first to feed upon the grass, the first to drink from the stream, and the first to return home in the evening. Pity your poor shepherd for his blindness. No man is most cruel and cunning," he continued, "to have used wine as a weapon against me, for surely no other device could have conquered me. If only you could speak, I know you would tell me where he is hiding. Then I would hurl him to the ground with such force that his brains would splatter across the floor of my cave. Yet even now no man has not escaped my wrath." With these words, Polyphemus sent my ram out to pasture with the rest. As soon as I felt we were safe from the Cyclops, I freed my companions, and we drove his fine rams straight toward our ship. As welcome as we were to those we had left behind, they wept for the men Polyphemus had eaten. I had no liking for their tears and ordered them to load our new cargo quickly so that we could speedily set sail upon the wine-dark sea. However, I would not leave the monstrous Cyclops without a final word. When I knew that I could safely shout and still be heard, I cried, "Polyphemus, the man whose companions you captured and ate in your hollow cave was indeed equal to your great strength. Zeus has now punished you for you so cruelly mistreating your guests." Polyphemus responded to my words by tearing off the peak of a great mountain and hurling it toward us. The earth shaker must have given sight to his son's hand, for the gigantic rock crashed into the salt sea right in front of our ship, creating an enormous wave that forced us back toward the shore. Quickly, I grabbed a long pole and pushed us off to sea before we met with further danger. Then, from twice as far, I prepared to shout another message. "Foolish captain," my companions exclaimed, "why must you continue to incite that monster Cyclops? Did not his first attack upon our ship bring us close enough to death?" Their words did not convince me to be more cautious. I comforted my angry heart by shouting, "Cyclops, if any mortal asks who blinded you, tell him that Odysseus, raider of cities, is to blame." Polyphemus groaned when he heard my words. "Then the prophecy of long ago has come to pass," he cried. "I have expected my fate in the form of some large and impressive visitor. I was completely misled by how small and weak you are. Never did I imagine that wine would destroy my sight. But return to me, Odysseus, raider of cities, so that I can give you a warmer welcome and pray to my father to grant you a fast journey home. The earth shaker will hear my plea on your behalf. In fact, if he chooses, he has the power to restore my sight. I wish I were as sure that I could end your life and send your shade down to the kingdom of Hades, as I am certain that the earth shaker will never be able to heal your eye," I responded. Then Polyphemus raised his arms and prayed to his father, "Poseidon, Lord of the sea, if you are indeed my father and I am your son, prevent Odysseus from reaching his homeland. Yet, if it is his unalterable fate to return to his home and his friends, may it be long before that day arrives. May he return alone and after much suffering, having lost all of his companions. May he be forced to arrive in a ship that is not his own, and may he find great trouble in his house. So the mighty Cyclops prayed, and the Lord of the Sea heard his prayer. Then with all of his strength, Polyphemus hurled a far larger rock at us. It fell into the sea just beyond our ship, and the enormous wave it produced carried us toward the far shore. There we rejoined our other ships. We divided the Cyclops' rams into equal portions, and I sacrificed my ram to Zeus, Lord of Olympus. When rosy-fingered dawn next shone forth upon gods and mortals, we continued our journey, our hearts grieved for our lost companions, but we were happy to have escaped death.